A rice farmer in Vietnam sells his harvest to a buyer in Kenya. No American is involved. No American product. No American port. But the invoice says dollars. Right now, about half of everything traded on Earth is priced in the money of one single country. Nobody is forced to do this, and almost everybody does it anyway. Why? The answer starts in a hotel in the mountains of New Hampshire in the summer of 1944, while the world was still on fire. Here's the pattern history keeps repeating. Every connected era picks one money. Rome had the denarius. If you've seen our first video, you know how that ended. Then the world ran on Spanish pieces of 8, minted from a silver mountain in the Andes. Then the Dutch guilder. Then the British pound. Even the word dollar is borrowed. It comes from thaler, a silver coin from a valley in Bohemia. One money always wins, and each winner ruled for roughly a century. July 1944. The war isn't even over. Delegates from 44 countries meet at a hotel in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to design the money of the peace. And the math in the room is brutal. Europe is rubble. The United States holds 2/3 of all the gold on the planet. So the deal is signed. The dollar is pegged to gold, $35 an ounce, and every other currency is pegged to the dollar. The world's money now has a king. Nobody hid it. They voted for it. Then the king cheated. Wars and big programs cost more than America could cover, and dollar holders started showing up to swap paper for gold. The vault was draining. So on August 15th, 1971, President Nixon simply closed the window. No more gold. From that day, the dollar is backed by nothing you can touch. Here's the twist nobody expected. The world shrugged and kept using it, which means the gold was never really the point. The real engine is simpler and stranger. Everyone uses the dollar because everyone uses the dollar. It works like English. A Korean pilot landing in Cairo speaks English to the tower. Not because it's the best language, but because it's the one everybody already learned. In 1974, oil got plugged into the same engine, the world's most traded commodity, priced in dollars, so every country on Earth needs a stack of them, forever. Once a network like that locks in, better alternatives don't matter. Only everywhere matters. Now, what does the owner of the network get? A French finance minister called it the exorbitant privilege. America is the only country that pays its foreign bills in money it can print. Everyone else must earn dollars. America issues them. The world lines up to lend America money cheaply because the world needs somewhere safe to park its dollars. It is, roughly, a credit card where the cardholder also owns the printing press for the currency the bill is written in. And here's the part polite explanations skip. A currency everyone needs is also a choke point. Nearly every dollar payment on Earth touches the American banking system, which means America can switch countries off, cut banks out of the global messaging system, freeze another government's savings. Hundreds of billions gone from reach in a weekend. That's not trust. That's leverage. But every time the weapon fires, something else happens quietly. The countries watching start building exits, just in case. So why hasn't anything replaced it? The euro handles about 1/5 of world reserves, but it's 20 countries sharing a currency without sharing one treasury. China's yuan? Around 2%. Money that can't freely leave the country makes a poor world currency. Gold doesn't scale. Crypto crashes. Meanwhile, the dollar still sits in about 57% of all central bank reserves, down from over 70 at its peak. Read that again. The challengers aren't winning, but the champion is slowly bleeding share. Viewers of our Empire videos keep asking, which balloon is inflating right now? Here's the honest answer for money. The guilder didn't fall because a rival beat it. The Netherlands overreached and drowned in debt. The pound didn't fall to a coup. It faded through 2 world wars of borrowing, then quietly handed over the crown. Reserve currencies almost never crash. They fade over decades, while their owners insist nothing is wrong. The threats to the dollar today are mostly made in America. Debt, deficits, and a weapon fired so often the world is learning to root around it. So why is the dollar the world's currency? Because in 1944 it was the last money standing, and because ever since, using it has been easier than replacing it. That's the whole secret. Money is a story. Everyone agrees to believe at the same time. The denarius was that story. The pieces of 8. The guilder. The pound. Every single one felt permanent. Every single one was a chapter. The dollar is the current chapter, written in the only ink that ever mattered, everyone else's belief. If this made something click, subscribe. One big question, plainly answered every week.